Valravn, ancestor of the seers and master of ravens. He hunts his prey with his powers of illusion and feasts on their remains. Follow the path to Valravn and defeat him in battle to earn his mark. The gate to Helheim cannot be opened without it.
Ymir was a frost giant, a being of darkness, and all his sons and grandsons were dark after him. Of his daughters and granddaughters, some were monsters, others fair. But there was another who came from the ice, a furry, and shit, he was like a man. Illusion hides the path to Valravn. Don't trust your eyes. Find another way to see the truth.
It's door.
It's funny. We all want to see behind the veil, don't we? Once we do, we mostly just close our eyes again and pretend what we saw was never really there. So we're never going to close our eyes. However hard you tried. Begged. This is the price you pay for seeing things differently. Because once you gaze into the relentless darkness, all that lurks within it. To see you too.
Finish this! Finish it now! You want it! Quickly get up! Defend yourself! It's nearly over! Finish it!
The Northman will not stop her. She will find what she's looking for.
Valravn's power of illusion comes from ravens. Allowing ravens to break his magic seal.
Show me what you have seen, Drew.
Look how much it's changed. It's all different.
Do you feel it too? It's like crossing into another world that looks the same but feels different. An impossible world where the forest itself is watching. Another gate.
Another gate. You know what to do. Stay back. It's not safe to listen.
To break the seal, align the ravens with the mark of Valravn.
Which ravens? Can't you see which ravens? Ravens.
Valravn.
Challenge me! Where is it? It's not your fault. Listen, focus. Focus.
Is she lost? It would be the first time. Last winter, before the tragedy, she journeyed into the wilds of her native land, living off berries, roots, and rabbits. Uncommon, you see. Not such a person, a gallant. Some like to become gallant in search of penance. Others, like Senua, to vouch a curse. Those who make it back are forever changed.
She can get out. No, what's happening? She can get out now. She can get out. It must be magic. Dark magic. A trick. Valravn tricking her. Valravn. How can she get out? Wait. It's him. Dark magic draws her closer. It's not. It's not him. It's a trick. She's doing it on her own. He's not tricking her. It's magic. It's an illusion.
If you hear the story of Valravn, follow it, and it will lead you to him. But be aware of his illusions. You can't always trust your eyes.
We picture fear, and we think of a shadow in the woods, a creature in the night. If only it were that simple. The worst kind comes without warning, deep and primal signal from within. A reminder that just because you cannot see the threat, it doesn't mean that it's not already here.
I can't do it.
The Northmen say that Odin and his brothers killed Ymir, and that the world of men was formed from his corpse. They made his bones into stone, and his flesh into earth, and his blood into the salt sea. They set his skull to be the bowl of the sky, and his wings for clouds. Odin and his brothers caught the sparks flying from husband.
Do you know what it's like to leave everything behind? Your home, loved ones, to head deep into the wilds, perhaps never to return? Senua does. Because when darkness speaks, it changes everything. Turning home into a foreign land and loved ones into strangers. Exile makes sense when you realize that you were never really home in the first place.
The song. Valravn song. It's over here. It's over here. Is that? No, it's here. There's two. Listen, focus on something. It's not. This reminds her of something. The forest. Where? Which forest? Forest in the wilds. The wilds. She went to the wilds a long time ago. What did she want to do? She wanted to fight her own darkness. She thought she could beat her own darkness. Did she beat her darkness? No. It nearly killed her, but she tried. Truth helped her. It wasn't for truth, she was dead. She can't beat her own darkness. She wanted to marry Dillian. She came to beat her own darkness and marry Dillian. But she didn't. She thought her curse would affect him. She thought her curse would spread to him. She thought she'd bring the darkness to him too. She nearly died. She thought the curse made her tainted. Truth helped her. The rings. They're gone. No, half of them have gone. They're gone. But where? Valravn's helping. He's not helping. It's true.
Out in the wilds, in the cold winter woods.
Where?
She no longer felt fit for this world. She almost gave in to the darkness. Always. She remembered Dillian's words. She remembered a promise. She resolved to fight on and kill that which had become a part of her.
Only in sacrifice. He hung himself from a world tree, and he stabbed himself with a spear, and he dedicated the sacrifice to himself. For 9 nights he hung on the tree like food.
Where?
Looking back, I was so naive to think she could banish it on her own. The further she saw into the darkness, the more she struggled to see anything at all. And the glow, the smallest hints of shape, sound, thought, grew in strength until they consumed her whole.
The gate is open.
Before she knew it, the darkness had her in victory when it comes to the darkness. It's like it doesn't want to kill her. Yet, it will gnaw at her, biding its time. Only when she is at her weakest will it strike to kill. Will she find Dillian before her time comes?
Overcome Valravn's final illusion, facing his key. I know you can do it, Senua. You have the sight.
We both send darkness. We can fight it together. Speak to me, Drew. Tell me a story.
Senua, listen. I will tell you the tale of a man called Finland. The Northman captured Finland's sister, and his father sent him to pay for her release. But they took his gold, put him in chains, and held him for a day and night without food or water. Then they released him. I don't know why. Upon his return, his father's enemies in Erin set fire to his home. His father burnt to death, and his brother was killed. But he escaped with sorrow in his heart. His father's enemies offered redress for his loss and invited him to a feast. It was at a hall near the sea. When he went there, they betrayed him to the Northmen, who enslaved him and took him to hell. 6 years later, his slave masters landed on the shores of Orkney, burning all before them. And into that fire, Finland made his escape. What was Finland burnt away that day. But from the flames, a new man stepped forward, and Ruth was born. Ruth, the man that I am now. And though Finland never set eyes on his dear sister again, I, Ruth, have found you, Senua.
I wish you could have seen my home before these dark times.
Broken. The gate is open. Open.